house from here? Oh, that's down the other side. I'm gonna get that wall going down. That's not bad.
Just a few reminders, please. There's no eating, drinking, or smoking.
Rebecca, and your trainer on stage today. Her name is Cindy. I'd like to introduce you to Kalani. Kalani is a 9-year-old male California sea lion, and he currently weighs in at a slim 400 pounds. But before we go any further, he is going to show you what he'd like to see and hear a lot of during his performance here today. That's right, a lot of applause, so don't be shy, you let him hear it. Now, the animals that you will be meeting here today, the California sea lion and the Atlantic bottlenose dolphin, are in no way endangered animals. In fact, they are breeding quite well in the United States and throughout the world. Even though this is the case, it is still very important to protect these animals and the ocean they live in. Isn't that right, Kalani? That's right. A lot of people do ask us about the relationship between the sea lion and the trainer, so let me tell you, it is based on a whole lot of love, a whole lot of trust, and a whole lot of mutual respect. We'd like to demonstrate just how much trust we do have in Kalani. Behind Cindy is a bucket of his very favorite fish, which happen to be capelin, and Cindy's going to take one of those fish out, place it in Kalani's mouth, and ask him to hold on to that fish and do not eat it. Now we do trust Kalani enough to know that we can turn our backs on him, count to 5, and he will not eat that fish. So anytime you're ready. 1, 2, 3, and 5. And when we turn back around, that fish will still be And of course, we do know for a fact that Kalani would never steal any fish, would you, Kalani? Sea lions and all marine mammals were once land animals, and they have slowly adapted to life at sea. He is a California sea lion. Those are found all along the Pacific coast, as far north as British Columbia and as far south as Mexico. One of the ways that they got their nicknames was that sailors heard them roaring and thought they sounded a lot like lions of the sea. So we thought we'd let Kalani say hello to each and every one of you, and we'll let you be the judge of that. Nice job there, Kalani. We'd like to bring Kalani up front so that we can point out some of his different adaptations to you. As I mentioned, he is a sea lion. He is not a seal. There are some very important differences between the two animals. Kalani and Cindy are going to point some of these differences out to you so that you can learn to tell the two animals apart. The first difference is you will notice that Kalani does have tiny ear flaps on either side of his head. These ear flaps are called external pinnae, and they work in the same function that our own outer ears do. They just funnel sound down into internal organs. Seals don't have these ear flaps, they just have a tiny pinhole on either side of their head, a lot like a dolphin does. The second difference between the two is the way that they walk on land. Sea lions like Kalani have a rotating hip bone, and this allows them to tuck their hind flippers up and underneath their bodies so they can walk very gracefully on land. Seals don't have this rotating hip bone, and therefore they have to move very slow and sluggish, a lot like an inchworm or a caterpillar. And Kalani has an impression of just how silly those seals can look. Pretty silly there, Kalani. Between the two is our front flippers. Sea lions like Kalani have very large and strong front pectoral flippers. We'd like to demonstrate just how much strength he does have in those front two flippers with a nice front flipper walk, lifting all 400 pounds up and across our stage. Sea lions move these front two flippers in an up and down motion when swimming, a lot like a bird uses its wings. Seals, on the other hand, have very short and very stubby front flippers, and therefore they have to use their hind flippers in a back and forth motion, a lot like an otter. But we'd like to demonstrate one more time just how much strength Kalani does have in those front two flippers. Keep your eyes focused on the small orange ball. We'll give him a big hand. He's working hard for you today. Just saw Kalani's impression of a seal. He does have another impression that he'd like to do for you today. This is an impression of a close cousin of his, also in the pinniped family. We're going to take just a minute and get his costume on. Any guesses who this might be? It's a walrus, that's right. He can make those tusks disappear. We'll give him a big hand. That does take a lot of self-control. In fact, if you think that's so easy, when you get home tonight, try and put a steak in your dog's mouth and see how long he holds onto it. Right, Kalani? That's right. Many of you may have seen sea lions balancing objects such as balls on the ends of their noses. They are excellent candidates for this because they do have such a strong and flexible neck. In the open ocean, they can use this flexible neck to swim into a school of fish, snap it back and forth very quickly, and try to capture up as many fish as they possibly can. But there is something else that helps Kalani out. You will notice that when the ball is placed above his nose, his whiskers spray out around it. These whiskers are called vibrissae, and they're very sensitive nerve endings, or feelers, and they help Kalani sense which direction the ball is going. In the open ocean, sea lions can use these whiskers to feel along rocks and crevices and try to find small food particles that they might like to eat. But they don't actually hold the ball up in any way. It's up to his strong and flexible neck to keep him up and underneath it. So keeping that in mind, Cindy, why don't you go ahead and send Kalani into the water, and we're going to toss that ball out after him, and Kalani is going to perform a series of balls. I didn't think you quite heard me. I needed to get all the way in the water so we can toss that ball out after him. There seems to be a little bit of a problem here. Let's see if we can find out what it is. What do you say? Yeah, right. He says there's a shark out there. I don't believe him. In fact, I have a sneaky suspicion that Kalani here doesn't even know what a shark really looks like. When you're done fooling around, let's toss that ball out there, and we'll let Kalani show off with some very fancy flipper work. Attempt to catch that ball in his front two flippers. Can he do it? Kalani has done a great job out here this afternoon, but we do think it's about time we meet our dolphin. But before he goes, he does have a couple of things left to do. And the first of which is to say his very silent sea lion purrs goodbye. So if you would, please bow that head, hide those eyes, and no peeping. Now his prayers might go something like this. Please bless Mom, please bless Dad, and of course, please bless the nice man who drives his fish truck every day. Amen. And there is just one more thing to do, and that's look out front and wave goodbye to all your nice new friends out there. And if you'll give us just a minute, we'll be right back out with the dolphins. Rebecca, your trainer on stage today, her name is Cindy. I'd like to take a moment out to personally introduce you to our two Atlantic bottlenose dolphins so that you can tell them apart for the remainder of the show. Always stationing on Cindy's right, she is the smaller of the two at about 350 pounds. She's 11 years old. Nice young lady. This is Katie. Stationing on Cindy's left, she is the larger of the two at about 400 pounds. She's 13 years old. This young lady, this is Carrie. Now that the introductions are over, I could use the help from all of you out there in the audience. If you would, please raise up your right hands and wave them back and forth. And if you wave at them, the dolphins will wave right on back to you, giving you a nice friendly tail wave hello. Dolphins are very athletic and acrobatic animals by nature. They can often be seen leaping out of the water, doing backflips, front flips, and spins in all sorts of directions. It doesn't really seem to matter, and these two are no exception to that rule. So what we'd like to do right now is pick up the pace of the show just a little bit. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the beauty, power, and grace of our two Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. are perfectly adapted to life in the water. The fins they used to wave hello to you with earlier, these were called their tail or their flukes. And this is the most important fin on the dolphin's body. This is where they get all of their power, speed, and swimming ability from. And you will notice that they do move their tails in an up and down motion and not side to side like fish do. The shark-like fin that's on the dolphin's back, this is called their dorsal fin. It's made out of a cartilage-like substance and used for stability and for balance. The two flippers at the sides of the dolphins, these are called their pectoral flippers. They're used for twisting, turning, and changing direction. An interesting fact about these flippers, if you were to take an x-ray of them, you would notice that they have 5 digits inside, just like the 5 digits in our hands. Well, hopefully all of you out there do realize that dolphins are warm-blooded, air-breathing mammals, just like you and me. They do breathe through the holes on the top of their heads called their blowholes, and they can also use their blowholes to communicate with one another through various squeaks, clicks, and whistles that we'd like you to listen to. Keep in mind all of these sounds will be coming from their blowholes and not from their mouths. This first sound, it will be coming from Terry, and it sounds a little bit like singing. And this next sound, it will be coming from Katie, and it sounds a lot like a motorboat. Well, how about a big hand for these two? I'd like to see all of you talk through your noses. Another very unique and important characteristic about dolphins is their ability to use echolocation or sonar. This is their ability to see with sound. How it works, the dolphins send out a series of clicking sounds from their forehead or their melon area. These sounds travel out, bounce off an object, and return back to the dolphin through their lower jaw. Through this process, they are able to determine the size, the shape, and the distance of an object, whether it be food or another dolphin. They do have excellent eyesight, and unlike humans, they can see very well both above and below the surface of the water. Their eyes move independently of one another, and they're more elongated than ours are, and this is so they can see fast-moving objects such as a school of fish or a fast-swimming shark. We'd like to demonstrate this excellent eyesight for you with the behavior called the tandem high jump. Now this requires our 2 stars to go down to the bottom of the pool about 16 feet, come up and out of the water and attempt to touch these 2 outstretched hands at the top of the tower. This does require a lot of timing, eyesight, and coordination on their part. It looks like they're just about set. Dolphins are also very playful animals by nature. They can often be seen playing in the surf near shore or off the wake of a boat. And they do this for several reasons. For one, it is an excellent way to conserve energy, and it also looks to be a whole lot of fun. Throughout the show, you might have noticed the various games that Cindy does play with the dolphins. One of their favorite games is crunching on ice cubes, and they also love to play the water game. This is where we take buckets of the salt water and pour it into their mouths. Now, they're not actually drinking this salt water. They do get all of their water intake from the fish that they eat, but they seem to like the way it feels over the tongues in the back of their mouths. Here at Knott's Berry Farm, we have what we call innovation sessions, and this is where we take a whole bunch of toys, throw them out in the pool, and watch and see what the dolphins do with them. Well, one day they started pushing around some round blue boards, and we thought it looked a little bit like surfing. So we shaped and expanded upon this behavior, and we'd like to call this their custom-made surfboard, complete with a little bit of surfing music, and Terry can catch a wave all on her own. This does bring us down to our favorite part of the show. For this, I could use the help from somebody out there in the audience. And I'm looking for somebody kind of small who wants to come on up. So do you want to come up in the green shirt? You can meet me up at the front of the pool. Go back around this way, meet me on the front here. We're going to bring Katie and Terry up. front. Okay. And first we have a couple of questions for you. Stand right there. The first question is, what is your name? Casey, how old are you, Casey? 10 years old. Where are you from? Wow, from Canada. And you came all the way here just to meet Katie and Terry, didn't you? Are you married? That's a silly question. Are you a good swimmer? No? Well, I hope you get some practice because we have an important job that we need you to do for us, okay? Okay. Do you see the whistle that Cindy's wearing around her neck? That's a really important whistle. We use that to work with the dolphins. And I have a whistle just like that. It's my very favorite whistle. But I'm kind of a klutz, and today I dropped it at the bottom of the pool. Okay, I don't really want to get in the water. It's kind of cold. So what I thought I'd have you do is just jump right on in there, swim down to the bottom and get my whistle for me and bring it back, okay? And don't worry about staying down there because Katie and Terry, they're going to hold you down at the bottom until you find it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. You don't look like you want to get in there. That's okay. We're going to give you the opportunity to pet them instead, okay? Okay, Cindy's going to come up on the mat and get it settled. Okay, you can go ahead and pet Terry. And then pet Katie. Okay, now do you want to put him back in the water? Just give him a good push. Just kidding. Just wave at him. Give him a big wave. There you go. Excellent job, Casey. Not everybody gets to pet a dolphin. Do you want to tell everybody what it felt like? Felt rubbery, didn't it? That's exactly how they feel. We're going to give you an opportunity to feed them as well. Okay? Now here at Knott's Berry Farm, we prepare their food especially for them every single day. And Cindy's going to show you how to prepare their food just the way they like it, so you can come stand right up here and do exactly what Cindy says.
Hi, Nancy.
In your hands, just like this. Oh my goodness. I think you squeezed that fish a little too hard. All the guts came out. Are they on your fingers? You can just wipe them on your shorts. Okay, that's it. There you go. I hope it's not a long ride home for you there, Casey. Okay, now really, we're going to show you. By the tail. Oh, you got to hang on to that fish. Okay, now watch what Cindy does. Okay, now you can feed Katie. There you go. Excellent job, Casey. You've done a great job. You have one more thing to do. That's turn around. And give everybody out there a great big bow. How about a big hand for Casey? I sure hope you've enjoyed learning about these animals. Education is very important to us here at Knott's Berry Farm, so we can learn to conserve and protect these animals and the environment around them. But don't go away just yet. How about one more round of applause for Katie and Terry?